Welcome to the 22nd episode of METACO Talks, a series of live conversations with the people making and shaping the future of institutional digital asset management. I'm very proud of the people that came to the show so far and of the caliber of the organizations they're represented. And for the story, one of our listeners told us that if you are a tier one institution and you have not yet been to METACO Talks, then you're probably not doing much in the digital asset space. I don't know if this is true, but we certainly hope that many of the other companies and banks working in the field will make us the pleasure of coming and sharing the experience. This week, I am pleased to host someone who has spent a large part of his career in the field of financial technologies and banking. He's one of the rare people to have really experienced digital assets and financial technologies by himself, not just through his employer and the bank he works at, but also personally. He is now at the forefront of innovation regarding blockchain, cryptocurrencies, tokenization, and their related use cases. I would like to welcome Laurent MAROCHINI, Head of Innovation at Société Générale Securities Services and blockchain leader for Société Générale Group. Laurent is involved at the broader Fintech and crypto ecosystem, particularly in Luxembourg, where he's based and where he holds various roles at the Association of Luxembourg Fund Industry, at Luxembourg House of Financial Technology, and Luxembourg's Banker Association. Laurent, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. And good morning, Adria, and good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Laurent, I would propose we start immediately, and I would like to start with a very broad question regarding geographies, where we stand. Where do you feel that the cryptocurrency market, the ecosystem of blockchain technology is evolving the fastest? Is it in Europe? Is it in the US, as it's often been with innovation, or is it potentially in Asia or somewhere else?
Very, very good question. And I'm very happy to be in the tier one bank, Adria, for your introduction. And thank you very much for METACO for having me today in the webinar. I'm very pleased to be here today with you. So I would say that the continents, the countries, and also the city are moving very fast, but at different speeds, depending on the different segments. If you are talking about blockchain as a whole, if you are talking about cryptocurrencies, NFT, and so on, and tokenization. At Société Générale Securities Services, we have conducted a survey at the beginning of the year with our top asset manager, with the full ecosystem. So we had a lot of discussion with our partner of the ecosystem, as well with you, Adria. And the main key takeaways we have for the different continents is the following. In US, definitely, yes, it's going very fast from an asset management perspective, and also from a cryptocurrency perspective. We have seen companies like Tesla, like MicroStrategy having exposition in Bitcoin. We have seen hedge funds that are moving very fast since now 4 or 5 years, doing a lot of things with cryptocurrencies. And now we see traditional asset manager like BlackRock, like JP Morgan, like Fidelity, that are doing things in cryptocurrency. US is still for 50% of the funding in blockchain. So this is definitely a statement. US is moving very fast, but especially in the funding, in asset management and cryptocurrency. Tokenization is a topic, but it's not the priority, and it's not where we see that they are moving very, very fast. In Europe, they are quite shy in terms of cryptocurrency. They are waiting for the regulation, according to the statement. So we are waiting for MiCA in Europe. They are waiting, so the asset managers, they are waiting also for the launch of a stablecoin, because we still need to have a stablecoin, so a CBDC, especially in the financial institution. So I would say that we are quite shy in Europe. By the way, the financial institution in Europe, they are moving quite fast in terms of tokenization and use cases in blockchain. For example, in the trade finance, if you are looking to the different initiatives in trade finance, you will see a lot of European players. So I would say cryptocurrency, it's not the priority they are waiting, but for the blockchain use cases and tokenization, it's going faster. In Asia, it's a mix. So it's a mix. They are moving in cryptocurrency, of course, not in China, because they banned, for example, the Bitcoin, even if they have done a lot of things regarding the mining until now. But in China, they are moving fast with the digital yuan. In the different countries, they are doing a lot of experimentation with the CBDC. So if you remember the different studies, 80% of central banks are moving in CBDC, but it's definitely a key topic in Asia. So I would say it's a mix of upwash. US, they are moving fast in cryptocurrency. In Europe, it's blockchain use cases and tokenization. And in Asia, it's a mix of different upwash.
Makes a lot of sense, and it's also consistent with what we observe as a company on the markets. Now, if we zoom in Europe more specifically, you said that cryptocurrencies may not be where it's moving the fastest. Is it true for every country? Can you give us a bit more perspective about the differences if we compare France, Switzerland, Germany, the UK? Are there countries which are effectively moving faster or very engaged into this field, or is it kind of a general slow pace everywhere?
Not a slow pace everywhere. And for Europe, it depends on your definition of Europe, within Europe. So give me the opportunity to do a focus on, I would say, the 4-5 countries I believe that are moving quite fast in Europe. So the first one, and I would say the historic one in the world of crypto, and I'm sure that you will be happy to hear it, it's Switzerland for me, because of course, in Switzerland, it's a very dynamic ecosystem, very crypto-friendly ecosystem, and with the crypto valley of Zug, now since a long time ago, it was home for Ethereum and different interesting initiatives in Switzerland. Just to remember that the market capitalization of Ethereum as of today, it's 450 billions of US dollars. I believe it's more than the first bank in the world. So Ethereum is the valuation of Ethereum is bigger than the first bank in the world. It's quite amazing. So definitely the crypto adoption in Switzerland is 11%. I believe that 11% of the people in Switzerland are holding cryptocurrency, and this is the highest rate. In Europe, the regulation in Switzerland is very open, and also what is very important for us in the ecosystem is also the initiative. So I was speaking about Ethereum as a technology, but we have already some successful companies in Switzerland. Of course, we have METACO, but we have also SDX, and we have different other in Switzerland. So congratulations to you, METACO. Congratulations to all my colleagues in Switzerland. Also, what we have observed in Europe is France. France is also a very interesting country, because we have seen with the Loi Pacte that things are moving also quite fast with the different statutes. So we have the statut PSAN in France, prestataire de services actifs numériques. So this is for the French people. And what we have seen a lot of initiatives in France, and especially just quote the last one with Banque de France, experimentation with Banque de France, and we had some Swiss colleagues involved in the Banque de France, and of course Société Générale was involved in this experimentation. With 8 experimentation, we are quite leading the pace. Also in France, Germany at the beginning, I would say they were not really at the forefront of the blockchain innovation, but now since 1-2 years, it's quite interesting that they are moving quite fast. Firstly, because they have Berlin, and in Berlin you have a lot of developers and a lot of blockchain developers, a lot of funding in Berlin. But with the recent law, you have the possibility to hold up to 20% in crypto for the special fund. So I don't speak very well German, but you will understand me. So no no choice to move forward in Germany because now the law says that you can hold up to 20%. And at the end, last but not least, and a country which is central in Europe and where I am very proud to work is Luxembourg. So very happy to be part in Luxembourg, and we have an interesting ecosystem in Luxembourg, a very small country. We have the first funds center in Europe, so we should keep that in mind. We have regulators, we have the proximity with the government that allow to do things, that allow to move forward. We were the first to take the position in Bitcoin in 2014. So this is a very interesting country, but yeah, interesting country. We have to move forward, but we should still keep the pace because the race is still not finished, you know.
It is absolutely true. And before we jump more specifically about Société Générale and how your bank has grown over the last years in the field, I just have a last question here, still about more general things that you observe. You are very much involved, not just in the bank, but also in various associations in Luxembourg on the innovation side. What do you see that we, let's say, outside of this bubble or within this bubble are not able to see? Because you see both worlds at the same time, the banking side and innovation, a lot of startups, I assume. What do you see as a possible trends, as activities and things which are not obvious today?
Yeah, so indeed, part of the different association in Luxembourg, as I said, we have moved forward a lot at the beginning, around 2013-14, with the first position with the Bitcoin and the regulator. We have built a very interesting ecosystem, and we have also some success story in this field with HQLX, with Funds DLT for the fund, with Tokenization. We have 2 regulated crypto exchange. So we have the ecosystem, we have a blockchain lab, everything is okay. There was a kind of I would say distrust from banking industry, but now, yeah, it's going better because in Luxembourg, yeah, we definitely need to move forward. We have a new RIFE, so reserve alternative investment funds that have been authorized to invest in crypto. So the sky, I would say that the sky is getting brighter in Luxembourg, and yeah, we have also the conviction in Luxembourg and in the different ecosystem that we have no choice in the future to work in collaboration with this ecosystem. So as I said, more than 50 startups and initiatives in Luxembourg, but in a digital age, I strongly believe that we can't build everything alone, and we have to find a way to collaborate with the ecosystem and the different startups. Building something alone in the digital age for me make no sense, because we need to have the time to market, we need to have the efficiency, and we need to be there tomorrow. And we need to work with the people who have the specific skills. And for me, digital custody is one of the greatest example of collaboration that banks need to have. And I have seen also some studies regarding that. For the digital custody, if you want to build something alone, yeah, you will need to have the specific skills, you will need to invest. You have companies that have already done that. So partnering with such companies, for me, is a good way to move forward.
Laurent, this could have been your conclusion in 15 minutes. I think it's a great statement. It is very difficult. And I'm not pointing fingers at Société Générale, because you have been extremely successful in building and innovating. But we've also seen many companies on the markets that tried to do everything by themselves and invest in a lot of money, failed to some degree, or at least were much slower than they anticipated. And it feels obvious that in particular in such a new field, you want to be close to the innovators, which may not have the structure, the governance, and the financial means to be, let's say, as safe as a large company like you are, but that have the agility and also the expertise to build things which then can be scaled to corporate environments. Now, I think it's a good transition into speaking more specifically about what you're doing at Société Générale. And again, I'm not asking you to break any NDA, but more, there are already quite a few public information and public statements about Société Générale on the various projects you have engaged into. Would you say that Société Générale is active in the field, or is it all marketing and PR?
No marketing PR, of course. Active, yes. Leaders, I would not say that we are the leaders, but we are very, very active, of course, in this field. And we are active since 2014 with the first experimentation. We were one of the first 10 investors in the R3 initiatives in 2014. We have made more than 40 experimentations since the beginning. So now we are not talking anymore about experimentation, but now we are talking about business model and real achievement and real impact for our client and for the future. So we have been part in different initiatives around 5 themes, I would say. The first one is trade finance, where we believe that blockchain will make sense. And for example, I can quote, because we have been part, we are part of the We Trade initiatives. We are part of Congo, which is located next to your office in Geneva. So I know that you are in Lausanne. We are doing some experimentation in the digital identity. So to secure our digital identity, to transfer the digital identity in a secure way, also taking a special attention to GDPR. So digital identity is definitely a key topic, and we have launched an internal startup. It was 2 years ago in this field. Cross-border payment, we have done a lot of things around this topic with Banque de France, with LUG also, and with JP Morgan, the initiative of JP Morgan to improve the infrastructure first, and after to work also with the different model of stablecoin, central bank digital currency, because the payment is definitely a very key topic. We were talking about this topic when we launched the Bitcoin 11 years ago, but now we need to work on a more stable coin for the payment. The most exciting and interesting sector also is definitely the post-trade, and we have a huge amount of initiative for the funds. We have worked with business and doing experimentation also with funds DLT. We have also worked in US with Paxos. We are live with Paxos in US for the post-trade US equities. We have launched our internal platform, Société Générale Forge. So yes, we have done a lot of things, and I would say more than 20 initiatives in the world of the post-trade. And the last one is the insurance, because thanks to the smart contract, we can also automatize and see new business model in the insurance. So very, very interesting. So yes, we have done a lot. We are very active in the different fields. We have made a lot of internal training, work a lot with the executive committee of Société Générale to work on the strategy, prioritize some investment. We have an investment fund of 150 million Société Générale Ventures to help us also to invest, because yes, we can have an idea, but if we don't execute our idea, it makes no sense also. So yes, we have the investment fund with us to move forward.
You mentioned in particular tokenization and stablecoins. I think those are 2 keywords currently that are almost buzzwords, I would say, in the field. But again, I don't believe you use them just as buzzwords. So tokenization, you have this now very well-known SG Forge initiative at Société Générale that is working on some implementation of tokenization use cases. What can you say that is on the public domain or not? I don't know about the initiative, where it's going, and how relevant it is to the Société Générale group.
Yeah, Société Générale launched in 2018 an entrepreneurship program. So if you have any ideas, please submit your ideas. So any ideas that will have an impact in the future and then will change the way we do the business. So we have launched more than 60 internal startups in 2018. They had 6 months to come with MVP and a client, because we need to have a client, of course. And the Société Générale Forge was one of the internal startups in 2018. They have made a lot of interesting things, not experimentation because it was always live. And now there is a spin-off. It's not Forge anymore, but Société Générale Forge. There has been a spin-off, so Société Générale is always 100% at the capital of the spin-off, of course. In terms of achievement, they have done a lot of things in addition to increase the awareness of blockchain and tokenization of the capital market in Société Générale. So they have made the first issuance of 100 millions in a public blockchain. It was at the beginning. After, they have done a new one of 40 millions, but with a central bank digital currency of Banque de France, issuing also 40 million in a certificated product. They have helped to contribute to the launch of stablecoin, the recent one with EIB and also Goldman Sachs and Santander. So yes, in the context of Banque de France experimentation, a lot of things is going to happen, but yes, I am under NDA. But of course, the focus will be done on bonds and certificate products at the beginning, and helping the capital markets to issue token and have a strong impact in the future. But always in a public blockchain.
Oh, this is very interesting, and in particular, this last comment about public blockchain, we have, as you can imagine, as an infrastructure provider, METACO is facing very frequently companies that only wants to mention private or permission ledgers, which is fine. This is absolutely fine, but it's also sometimes feels a bit like there is a irrational fear of public blockchains, or sort of we don't want to touch it even just for trying. So it's interesting that you have actually favored by default public ledgers. Now, you also mentioned CBDC, central bank issue digital currencies, multiple times. I understand that you have an initiative with this. Is such an initiative relevant in the context where there are already plenty of private stable coins, let's say, USDC issued by Circle and Coinbase backing it, even algorithmic stable coins like DAI in decentralized finance? Do you see a future where stable coins are private, so it's companies like Société Générale potentially issuing its own token, or where stablecoins become real money in the sense that it's directly issued by the central authorities such as the ECB, the Feds, or the SNB?
Yeah, so definitely what is important is to keep in mind, as you said, you have different form of stablecoin. It can be for the wholesale, so this is where we are today. You can have for the retail, and after you have different form. And what is very important is also the nature of the issuer. It can be a corporate. It can be, I would say, it can be nobody as a Bitcoin. It can be a central bank. So definitely, this is very important to have in mind all the different elements. So in Société Générale, we have contributed to the launch of a stablecoin in France, the stablecoin LUG, also in a public blockchain, and it was with Tezos, if my memory is working well. And so we have helped them to launch this stablecoin, and we are a banking partner. So we are the banking partner to safekeep the equivalent in cash for the stablecoin. So definitely, this is a very interesting topic in terms of experimentation. We strongly believe and we are supportive of all the initiatives related to the central bank digital currency. So in the field of the wholesale activity, and we have worked and we still work strongly with Banque de France and supportive about the initiatives with central bank, the European Central Bank. we have a working group in Société Générale that are looking to the different possibilities, but it's still in an exploration mode. But you were talking about DAI, Circle, and so on, the DeFi. So yeah, we see a lot of things in this field, but we are a bank, we are regulated, and we need to pay attention to all the different aspects. When I was talking about the issuer, it's definitely a key point.
It is, and you know, a surprising point with CBDC is that it's been a long time that CBDC is seen as a competitor to cryptocurrency. You know, as soon as you have the central bank issuing money, do you really need Bitcoin? And of course, there are various properties of Bitcoin which a CBDC will not equal, but you can argue that at least as a means of payment, potentially it's a better tool. So do you see today that CBDC is actually competing with cryptocurrencies, or could it be kind of an on-ramp, or let's say a facilitator of the cryptocurrency and decentralized finance industry as a whole? Because if I can, you know, quickly mention, I think that one of the biggest weaknesses of DeFi today is that you're kind of in your bubble working with fantastic tools, but fantastic tools which don't have great interface with the legacy world or with the outside world. And as soon as you start thinking about CBDC in this equation, well, potentially you can only consume DeFi, or you can leverage this DeFi technology much more than you do today. So do you see CBDC as a competition or as a facilitator or something else in the context of the blockchain innovation today?
No, definitely no competition. We need definitely in the world of finance to have a CBDC. It's like having a car without having now electricity. I will not say gasol, but I will say electricity. But anyway, we need to have a CBDC. What is the DeFi Bitcoin? It's a different world for me, and I strongly believe to the potential of CBDC in the world of the capital markets. So for me, it's not a competition; it's completely complementary.
I believe it is.
There is place for a lot of actors.
Speaking about these actors that you're referring to, do you see, and you don't need to name them, but do you see other large players on the markets, whether in Europe or in the US or in Asia or somewhere else, that are today taking similar steps as Société Générale is going through, whether it's with tokenization or more directly with cryptocurrencies or CBDC, or do you feel that you are kind of unique on the market today?
No, we are not unique, and I see a lot of companies are moving fast. But for me, and I don't like the term competitors, even if I'm doing a lot of sports. But anyway, for me, the biggest competitors for banks is not the financial one. It's the ones that you don't see. Is the ones that you don't see today. It's the invisible competitor, and you can be. You are not a competitor, of course, but you can be a competitor of a segment of banks. Coinbase can be a competitor because they are doing a lot of things in the banking one. So a GAFA can be a future competitor of banks. So for me, the main competitors of Société Générale in the world of blockchain, and the other are the invisible one. But yeah, I see. Otherwise, I see very interesting US companies that are investing a lot, because you have a lot of US companies, financial companies that are investing. But for me, investing is very important, but you need to execute business case and have a real impact.
Laurent, we certainly hope that Société Générale is leading by example, and that you'll be making bold announcements over the next few months and few years. I would like to thank you very much for the participation. It's been an exciting discussion. Potentially, I hope that I'll have the opportunity to invite you again to the show. Thank you. And to our auditors today, the next episode will be with Matthias Imbach, CEO and founder at Signum Bank in Switzerland. Don't forget that you can always find the recording of the session on the various channels, whether it's on Spotify or whether it is on our website, on YouTube. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much to you all. Thank you, Laurent.
Thanks, Adria. Bye.